there was some kind of an attack by an individual on the White House. So we're going to try to find out more about that. But then we also have reporting that people that were staffers to Capitol Hill and the Congress, in the federal buildings there, Congress buildings, I think even the Capitol Hill itself, were told to shelter in place. So we're kind of familiar with that term since the new terminology of the police state since the Boston bombings, and they are preparing us for more tighter, heavily controlled police state, martial law, that type of thing. If you don't believe it, you don't see it creeping up, then you could be an ostrich with your head shoved far into the sand. The fact that this is going on doesn't mean that there's any reason for paranoia or if there's any reason for it to be surprised. I'm not surprised at all, just as I'm not really surprised by this report of a violent incident in Washington, D.C., since the government is flawed, failed, and completely dysfunctional. If they think that this big sensationalized hype of their lack and failure of communication amongst each other, they don't think that it will derive by logical progression to where the people know that there's a complete failure of communication between us and the state, the well-heeled elite. If they can't even talk amongst themselves and publicly act like they're in this deadlock of a dichotomy and an approach to running their central government mechanism, then what makes anybody think that they will be able to communicate with the peons that we are here across cyberspace and the real world of the real America? There's no reason to think that. So it stands to reason that there will be violence, or there will be staged events, and there will be false flags, and there will be more like this to further confuse, enrage, and expand upon the fears. No, I'm not a commie. No, I'm not a hippie. No, I'm not a cowboy. No, I'm not a Tea Party person. No, I'm not a preppy. I'm just a free-thinking human being who tends to know what's going on. Thanks for listening.